The unaccountable United States Supreme Court suffers further self-destruction from Republican-appointed justices. All that and more now on Graph's Grievances. Bombshell new reporting only further revealing the corruption rotting our nation's highest court. According to the New York Times, following the January 6th attack on the U.S. Capitol, the House of the Supreme Court Justice Samuel Alito prominently displayed a symbol that was a rallying cry among Trump supporters who believed the 2020 election was stolen. Here you see that insulting symbol, an upside-down American flag, displayed outside Justice Alito's home on January 17, 2021, just 11 days after the Capitol attack. A flood of social media posts after the 2020 election was called for President Biden urged Trump supporters to invert their flags or purchase new ones to display upside down in solidarity with Trump's effort to overturn the election and stop the steal. Inverting the flag has long been used by the U.S. military as a symbol of emergency and distress. Of course, there was no emergency. The 2020 election was not stolen from Trump, and the more than 60 court challenges Trump filed over the results were all laughed out of court. However, apparently Justice Alito's wife didn't get the message. That's right, in an email to the New York Times, Justice Alito throwing his wife under the bus, blaming her for the inverted flag that he claims was only briefly flown outside of their Alexandria, Virginia home. Importantly, Alito does not deny the flag was flying upside down. He does not deny that it was a symbol of the baseless Stop the Steal conspiracy. And perhaps most damning, he doesn't express disapproval or disavow his wife's actions. According to judicial experts, the flag was a clear violation of ethics rules which instruct the justices to avoid even the appearance of bias by not making political statements or opinions on matters that could come before them. And sure enough, while the American flag was being desecrated outside of Justice Alito's home, the Supreme Court was deciding whether to hear a handful of cases related to the 2020 election. And guess who was on the losing side of rejecting to hear Trump's election challenge case? Justice Alito, along with Justice Clarence Thomas and Justice Neil Gorsuch. So to be clear, that means Justices Alito, Thomas, and Gorsuch wanted to give Trump a chance to overturn his election loss before the Supreme Court. That Trump's own head of cybersecurity declared, quote, the most secure election in American history. Justice Alito's compromise position related to Trump mirroring that of Justice Thomas, whose wife, as you might recall, was closely involved in Trump's effort to reverse the 2020 election and even attended the rally that Trump held in D.C. hours before the January 6th attack. This horrific corruption on our nation's highest court continues unabated because the justices on the Supreme Court are not forced to abide by their own ethics code. There is no enforcement mechanism. The justices supposedly police themselves, which obviously does not work, as exemplified by the fact that both Justice Thomas and Justice Alito refused to recuse themselves from several ongoing and recently decided cases before the Supreme Court involving January 6th. Any day now, the full court expected to rule on whether Trump is immune from any and all prosecution related to his efforts to subvert the 2020 election. And earlier this term, the full court ruled that states cannot bar Trump from running for re-election under the Constitution's insurrectionist clause. In both of these cases, Thomas and Alito pretending they were impartial despite indisputable evidence to the contrary. The cumulative effect of this blatant deception is not only an ethical crisis, but plummeting approval of the Supreme Court, which relies on public support for its rulings to be enforced. Remember, the court has no army, no police to make the American people abide by its decisions. And you can be sure that if the Supreme Court continues to go down this route of disregarding impartiality, its present existence will be fleeting. Just as Trump first ran for president promising to appoint specific justices intent on overturning Roe, Democrats will move forward with either expanding the court to offset Republican appointees and or begin impeaching justices that do not uphold the highest ethical standards. All of this turbulence arguably not good for American jurisprudence, but certainly necessary to ensure one of our three branches of government is not on the take. Thank you for watching Graph's Grievances. Let me know what you think. Please like, subscribe, share, and join me in the next one.